much. But but are you running this public works? That's the one item that's more.
Good morning.
No.
Jeff did it, but I don't know. Everywhere I eat.
The station.
The rest of your team is in Tallahassee. That's well that
Yep, it's still late, huh?
that's why you guys are here.
There you go.
Where's the other one button?
Yeah.
Is there a remote box?
Yeah, there's not a it's wireless.
Well, you know, I'm not. You were your class a little bit different. Like for networking
Where's that little, like a plug-in?
Oh no, just the
Honestly, those mics just are the best thing. Those threes are
yeah.
I could, I'd like to ask the representatives of the business community to be here, so, Rich and Dave, if you'd step up here and stand in the array of folks, and of course, Mr. Mayor. Stand right here by the flag.
By the flag.
Let me close that door for a second. Okay, you all set yet? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming today. My name's Dave Lynch. I'm the town manager. And several months ago, this town began a quest to reassert the affirmation contained in this logo here, the small town that means big business. And what that really meant for us to do as a community was to embrace the businesses and make sure they knew that we as a municipality want them to be profitable and want them to expand and have great success in our town. But you can't do that if there are certain barriers in the way. And we determined that there was a major barrier in terms of the hassle for the businesses and in terms of the expense for the businesses. And the hassle, by the way, has to do with all the forms that are involved. And that was to get rid of something called the business tax receipts. Business tax receipts are methodology for a municipality to collect money and information and put penalties on businesses based on a state law that said you could do it. I think the original philosophy was, if a business is operating in your town, they're going to use your services. They're going to use your infrastructure. Therefore, we should allow the municipality to collect money and information from them. Well, it turned out to be a hassle. And in our community, we have a lot of small businesses. We are just under 2 square miles, yet we have between 600 and 675 businesses in this little community. And we realized, in talking to members of the business community, that the BTRs, the business tax receipts, were somewhat of a financial drain, but certainly a waster of time and energy. And the best kind of government is the one that gets out of the way of business success. So we decided to get rid of the BTRs, and our commission voted unanimously sometime last week to eliminate them entirely, something that we've been working on, as I mentioned, over the last few months. There are a few more details related to this, but really the pro-business guy in our community, one that's been driving this energy to protect and help our businesses, has been our Mayor Jeff Jacobs. So, Your Honor, I'll turn the microphone over to you for a moment.
As a entrepreneur and business owner myself, I know the challenges of starting a business. I love making money for my companies that I work for, but at the same time, I'd rather make money for myself. And a lot of people are going that direction and opening their own small businesses. But when it comes to opening a business, there in Florida is a great deal of red tape you have to go through, a lot of licenses you've got to get with the state, the county, the municipality. This is just cutting out a portion of that red tape to make it a little easier. It doesn't help that the process could sometimes take hours, days, or months just to get this license. Now, anyone knows when you're opening a business and you're paying a lease and you're paying for, everything that goes along with the business, any length of time you gotta wait is days you're not making money. So cutting out the BTRs is just one small step in helping the town move forward, helping the business community, and helping drive more business to the town of Pembroke Park.
Thank you, Mayor. Folks, this affects our business community in a more direct way, and that's why I thought it was important. There's an organization in town called the Kelsey Group, which has approximately 130 small business tenants of their own. And the manager of that organization is a guy named Rick Chapels, and he immediately recognized the importance of this measure, get rid of the BTRs, and the impact it would have on the lives and businesses that he has direct contact with on a regular basis. So, Rick, I'm going to ask you to come to the microphone and talk a little bit about the impact on these businesses.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, as David already explained quite clearly, it was a huge advantage to our tenants. We have 136 different businesses in this town. And they all had BTR issues at one time or another, and it impacted not only the businesses, it also impacted negatively the town itself, because there's a lot of infrastructure here that had to go back and forth to try to fix things. We had a lot of success with people being very here, David in particular, and the mayors, Mayor Shira.
Sure.
Yep, she was very helpful with this. We started about a year ago where we started having meetings that we didn't have before for this town. I've been here since 2006, and the town has really made a big change in how they approach the business community. We appreciate it, and we thank you for continuing to go forward in that direction.
Terrific. Thank you, Mr. Chaples. So how about a real life example? There is a fellow who operates a business in town, part of Mr. Chaples' conglomeration of businesses, and his name is David Arias, and he's known as the King of Quartz. A great name, I think. I think he deals in rocks and marbles and things of that nature, what people want to put on their kitchen and so forth. And Mr. Arias, just very briefly, you're one of the guys that's on the ground floor of how it affects your business. Tell us a little bit about that. Mr. Arias, you want to step forward?
We've been in this town for almost 20 years. It's a great town for business. And then again, we always had this little issue with a BTR. Not just a BTR, but the penalties that came along with it.
Yes.
So,
50% penalties.
Yes. Actually, more penalty than the actual BTR.
Yes.
And we are very, very happy that it's being eliminated. Thank you, the mayor. Thank to you, David. So, yeah, we are thrilled that we not have to pay BTR anymore.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the King of Quartz.
Thank you.
Before I proceed any further, a lot of people have helped to make this happen, and she didn't want to appear on the dais, and the reason she didn't want to appear on the dais is because our former mayor, Commissioner Muhammad, is actually out doing some of the groundwork of things we do all the time. Today, for example, she's out there passing out flyers relative to our food drive. So she came dressed in tennis shoes and athletic wear in order to do that, but she is in the back of the room, and she's omnipresent. Mayor Ashura Muhammad, thanks, Your Honor, for coming. She's spent 20 years in the business of government here on a local basis. A couple of other people that are helping restore this energy that we love businesses. And for example, our business relations manager is here. Eli, you want to stand up for a second and take about Eli Augusto. Thank you so much. And also our applicant advocate is here. I believe there she is, Marisol Zayas. Marisol's job is to make sure that the red tape that government uses to get in the way of business is eliminated. So beware, all city departments. Marisol will make sure that you are expediting the activities that businesses need to succeed in our community. So we appreciate that so much, what they've been doing to move this along. Now, just to give you a few statistics. The BTRs in our town generate, or have been generating, approximately $400,000 a year. You might say, well, how can a town afford to say adios for $400,000? Well, the real question is, how can this town afford not to get out of the way of business? In the end, we believe that the expansion of business activity will result in actually more revenue to the town, because we generate our revenue through increases in value in property taxes, and that only happens if the businesses are successful. Empty buildings have a lower value than buildings filled with successful businesses. So that $400,000 will only have a negligible effect. Our general revenue stream in our town ranges anywhere on an annual basis between $21 million and $22 million. So can we afford to say goodbye to $400,000 so people like Mr. Arias can tell the rest of the world, and so Mr. Chaples can tell the rest of the world, and so the mayor can tell the rest of the world that our little town really welcomes business. We love what they do. Our town now has its own police department. In fact, I think I saw, I'm not sure he's here anymore, the deputy police chief. There he is, Jason Ochoa. So how's it we can afford a little town to have our own police department? This is why, because of these business people. We are able to provide better service because we help make them successful, and this is just a small part of it. Now, lest you think that the business tax receipt payment by the businesses is a small amount for each business. Think of it this way. If you operate a small nail salon and you're trying to meet your rent, trying to meet your overhead, trying to pay all the different fees that you have, that $200 to $700, depending, could really have a significant impact on your small operation. But we have one business in town, for example, whose BTR was, last year, $13,000. Believe me, that's a great shot in the arm to make that business succeed. So generally speaking, we've discovered in our town that we can feed the engine of economic activity at the front of the train and get those engines burning nice and hot by getting out of the way of the things that they need to do. And that really concludes our remarks today, but I did want to take a moment to, with the exception of a few other remarks that the mayor had.
One thing that the manager did not mention is the cost of the operation of the program itself for BTRs. It's almost a wash of what it costs us to operate the program for what we're bringing in revenue as well. There's a little margin in that area, but it's there to bring in more business. And we are currently working with programs that will occupy empty spaces within our town, business spaces, using AI and new technology to help recruit and bring new businesses in. Hopefully at some point we can have every business location in the town of Pembroke Park and some of the vacant land we have here in our town still developed with new businesses coming in. So we are working diligently on trying to get that done.
Okay, we're gonna open up for any questions that anybody might have at this time. We'll be happy to respond. It is a press conference. I think we've covered all the bases, but there may be some other questions or even comments that anybody has here. I know Channel 10 is here, and I know the people from Public Communicators is here. Any questions or comments that anybody has as relates to the elimination of the BTRs? This is a red letter day in our community. Our commission, led by the mayor, is helping us fully supercharge our efforts to make businesses successful. So we appreciate what the mayor and the commission has done. You know, in communities all throughout Florida, they like collecting this irritating little tax. The business operators. From our standpoint, we want to remove all irritations. We're not done yet. The mayor has some other ideas that I'm sure will be presented to the commission, so we continue to make sure that we are the little town that means big business. And that brings us to a close. No other questions? Thanks for coming, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a great day today.
Here, here.
Yeah,
Oh.
thank you.
Hold on, keep it rolling. Mr. Hodgkins, come on over for a second. I outlined the members of the commission, Mayor, former Mayor Muhammad, who's the mayor, and Bill Hodgkins, a veteran, by the way, of the United States Army. Thank you for your service. And I want to make sure any commission that came here had an opportunity to talk about this elimination of the BTR. So they'll step up to the podium for a moment and give us your thoughts, and then we'll bring things to an end.
Yeah, this has been a wonderful thing for our businesses. I think it's a big plug in the arm, you know, gives them a little boost, and I think it was a long time coming, but I'm glad to see it actually came to fruition. So congratulations to our businesses and to our town.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day today. Thank you.